Hi class, I'm shooting this small video because I want to talk to you about the social media marketing plan. So what is it that we are going to be doing with this marketing plan? The plan and the guidelines that I have pulled up here on the screen has uh, three parts. So on the first part, we have the summary and social media analysis. On the second part, we have the big idea and channels. And then on the third part, we have the final project report and then the presentation. So it's two things. You're going to turn in a report, and on top of that, you're going to pitch your project. So let's start by the beginning, right? So brand summary and social analysis. So this is basically when we get to know the company. You're going to find out who is the company, what market do they serve, what is their current marketing, what are they doing right now. And this does not refer only to social media, but it also refers to any sort of traditional marketing that they are executing right now. So all this information, you can gather it from the client. You are also going to do a social media audit, and that's a job that you're going to do yourself. I'm going to show you then later where we have the templates, but we are also going to use some software that is going to help us get all that information. We are going to report what we can see. If we can get to certain information, then it's obvious we cannot do it. The client is going to give us as much as they can, but you are going to kind of have a snapshot of where is the company right now. That's what you're doing on the first part of the project. You need to realize where are they so that then you can take them to where they want to be. So part of it, it's the social media audit, and then you're also going to do some social listening, and that we will do a practice next week in class so that you can understand how this works. Something super important about gathering information is performing or conducting a SWOT analysis. So your SWOT analysis is going to be on the current state of the company. Something super important is that when you write all this, you are already aware of where the company wants to be. So there are many steps here, and all this is going to, you are going to work in all these phases uh, during the development of the class. As we go week to week working on different topics, you're going to realize that you're going to start already gathering the information. Let's say if you're going during the class, as you discuss and we work on the discussion boards and we work on the Facebook group with different articles, you are going to be gathering information on your company. So sort of you will be having a rough draft, okay? Then when we move on to the second part, that it's the big idea and the social channels. So once you have gathered all the information from part A, you're going to be able to see, okay, here I have an opportunity. Where are those niches of opportunities where you could do something that will work for the company? So it's sort of saying, okay, by doing the social listening, you're going to understand what the market is needing, and you're going to say, aha, we could create a strategy to fulfill this need that hasn't been addressed so far. Or we could create a strategy to fix this because probably they're doing something good or they have a good intention, but it's not well executed. So the big idea doesn't need to be something new. You don't need to reinvent the wheel if there's something already working. You could fix the wheel if you could make it better. Or if you have something that will be like a real wow, absolutely feel free to go out for it. But don't overthink this process. Something that I forgot to say from the brand summary, so from part A1, is that we are also going to create an ideal customer. So for those of you that are working in groups, when it comes to the assignment in class, each of you could create a different ideal customer. And then while you work together, you could say, okay, you know what? We could get traits from what A did, traits from what B did, and C, and you can pull up a new consumer persona. Or you could also say, you know what I did wasn't good enough. I think that A has a better consumer persona going on, and that's what you do. So you need to work that part together. But like I said, we're going to be working on this together during the class. Then, going back to the big idea and social channels, while you're working on this, and when you have done the social media audit, you're going to be able to realize what channels is the company using right now. So you're going to analyze those channels and you're going to say, hey, they're doing it right, or we need to revamp the strategy that they have on Facebook. We need to revamp the strategy that they have on LinkedIn. We need to cut Twitter because it doesn't do anything for them, and they are just only having a platform there that if they are not taking care of it, they're better off not having it. So how do you know if it's enough or not? I mean, that's also part of the conversation that you could have with your client. Look, listen, you have listed like 5 social media platforms in your website. Do you update them all? Do you do, can you really work with them, and can you really embrace all of them? Because it has to be realistic. You cannot work on a plan where they are only going to keep focusing in 2 platforms and not on other 3 or 4 that they have there. So it has to be realistic to what the company wants. So you really have to dig deep on that section. One of the things that many students forget and do not do in their plan is this section here, where it says when you suggest that they use Facebook. So prior to say, okay, you should use Facebook, why should they use Facebook? So part of a report on a social media marketing plan is not solely saying you should use ABC. You need to explain the company why. So you need to have a little snapshot of the platform as well. Okay, what is Facebook? Facebook is a social media platform, and you can say the ability that Facebook have to reach X amount of people in X amount of time, the insights that Facebook will provide it. So also a little knowledge of what is it that you're recommending. It's like going to the doctor. So you go to the doctor and the doctor says to you, take an aspirin, and you go and ask him, why an aspirin? So the doctor is going to tell you, oh, because the aspirin is going to be able to let you walk without any muscle pain in 3 hours, and if you take it 4 times a day, sort of like explaining why are you recommending something. So you explain why Facebook, why Twitter, why Instagram, why Snapchat. Give a little background information on that, and then the strategy that you think that they should do. So within part of the strategy, and you will see it later, you should suggest some mock posts. So you will do that for your presentation, and you can include some also in your social media marketing plan. So then comes down the report. So, something that I was forgetting and super important. When you come to the social media and to the big idea and the social media channels, you're also going to discuss content. By the time that you do that, you are going to have learned a lot about content, because that's one of the things that I do focus here in this class is allowing students to learn how to deploy content, what content is good and what content is bad. I think we already talked about that on my first video. Social media is just like the outlet so that you can converse with the public, so that you can share content. So I always, and I think I already said that, but if not, I'll say it again. It's like I invite you to my house for dinner, but if I don't have food, what dinner are you going to have? That's the same thing with a social media marketing plan. I cannot give you a plan if I don't give you the examples of the content that you should have. So content creation is a big part, and we work with this social media story template that we are going to review later. And it's very easy to work, and it just kind of puts the story of the strategy that you want to share. So when it comes to the final part, you have the social media plan report. So that's the document, the physical document that you are going to complete, that you're going to type. Now, this document, it's not a long, wordy Word document. This document needs to be full of charts, full of graphs, full of visuals. It has to be something that I grab it and I scan it and my eyes can go straight to the information that I need. Yes, I'm going to read it all, but it has to be catchy. It's part of social media. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to post it in Moodle so you can take a look. That was a successful social media marketing plan from a past student. So that will help you to see, okay, this is the type of document that I need to produce. Some of the softwares that you could use to do that, I love Adobe. I mean, in Adobe, you can put a lot of graphs and charts, but honestly, do it the way you can do the same thing in Word, but just make sure that you include all this. Do not put all your charts and graphs and visuals as appendices at the end. No, it has to be within the information, because that's what makes it catchy. And that's what, when you talk to me about 30% of the population that this and that, and you have a graph next to it, so it's relatable, it's fun, it's better when you read it. So here is the explanation of how are you going to write your social media report, all the templates that you need to have in there. I basically tell you the chapters that consider, like, your book is your best, your textbook is the best, let's say, right hand in order to write a plan that makes sense. And right here, I do have sort of like an example of a social media plan format. So these are the topics that you need to include in the marketing plan. So the other thing that you need to be aware is, it's right here. These are the points, the presentation. Okay, the presentation. This is the report, grading. And don't tell me I did not include it. Well, I'm going to update this document because it's not in here. Oh, no, it is in here. Sorry. Okay, so your final presentation. So the final presentation is that basically you're going to go live on Facebook. And don't worry, because by then you're going to be an expert. No camera shy here. During the class, in the following weeks, I'm going to teach you just how you go live. Have you ever done a live on Facebook? You are going to do it just for our group, so it remains private, it's for us. And you're just going to go live and you are going to present and pitch your plan. So for when that happens, we're going to invite our clients to join the group, and they can see the final presentation at the end, or if I might just send them the link for them to watch the presentation. So, but ideally, they should be there so that we can, if they have any questions, to ask you about the plan. So the presentation has to be 5 to 8 minutes. It has to be short. There is this, and I'm gonna open it here. So I really like this because it's basically how your presentation should go. The introduction, the problem, how are you solving it, your big idea, and then going down what you are suggesting, and the resolution. So It's boom, boom, bam, 8 minutes, and you are done. So that is basically what we are going to have. Like I said, it's not going to be that it comes the last week of class and you have to put all this together. We are going to build the entire plan throughout the development of the class. The discussions are tied to the project. Every single thing that we are going to do in the class is tied to the project. So when it comes the end of the semester, well, by Thanksgiving, you are going to have almost everything. And then what you will have to do is just probably formatting and putting it together. So I'm going to leave you with this video. Listen to it, and I'm going to post also this video on our Facebook group, and let me know if you have additional questions. And like I said, ask all what you need to ask. I'm here to answer any questions that you will have. By the end of the week, if it's not later today, I'm going to keep opening topics so that you can get all or a better idea of how you're going to get all this information together. So enjoy the weekend and have a great day. Bye.